Hey, hi all. How are you guys doing today? So in this lecture, we will understand jQuery's method. What are the use cases of it? Uh, and then we will understand it with a simple example. So, you know, jQuery's method is actually used to iterate over the items of a collection. And this iterates over jQuery object executing a function for each element of an collection, right? So what it will do, it will use an particular item, right, and current item from that item list, and it executes a callback function on that item itself. Okay, so the callback function could be the anonymous function without any name, right? And then the beginning of the index here is 0, and the last index is actually the length minus 1. Okay, so let's understand it. So before that, if you're new to channel, please hit like uh, to the video, and then hit subscribe button and then a bell icon, right, so that you never miss any new updates. So now if you look at the HTML page, right, so let me comment out these two lines. You can see on HTML page there are 4 checkboxes. Okay, so what do we need, right? So we need a functionality, right? What it will do, it will select all checked elements, right, and it will print out their name, sorry, their value or text, right, on the button click. So let's implement this. So we have a button over here, so I'll just uncomment this. So this is the simple syntax, right? The id selector, jQuery id selector, and attaching a click event handler to it, and then passing a anonymous function, right? So here we could get event as a parameter, but right now we are not using it, so we can keep this as an empty. So now what I need, right? So what I need actually, these checkboxes which should be checked, right? So I need a checkboxes. So what I can do, I'll create a variable checked elements, right? And I will uh, I will add, a tag selector, and then attribute selector also. Okay. So the attribute would be the checkbox only, right? So what it is doing actually, right? It is actually fetching for me like the input elements which has this type. So we have looked into this type, sorry, the attribute selectors also. If you're new to that, uh, go back and watch my videos on my channel. So we have this also. So attribute value, so we are passing a value to it. Okay, and then using this checked pseudo selector, we are fetching the check boxes. So on this checked pseudo selector also, I have created a video. If you're new to this, go ahead and watch that video as well. Okay, so now we need to call each method, so we need to iterate over them, right? So how we can iterate? So we can use this checked element, because this checked element has all checked input elements. Okay, so now on this variable I'm calling a each function, and I'm passing a callback function to it. Okay, so what it will do, right? So this callback function, each method does actually runs this callback method on each and every object, right? So because of that, we are getting the item in a second parameter and the index in the first parameter. Okay, so it is running this function on each element. So that's the reason we are getting this item as a current instance, right? So what we can do now, you can just console log. I'm using backtick template string, right? So now I'll print index first. Okay, and then I'll use item dot val, right? So this is the item.val function. So this is the current checked element, right? And it is running this method on each and every element. So we have a current checked element instance over here, right? So to call this function, right, to call this val function, we need to wrap that current instance in a dollar, in a jQuery syntax. Okay, we need to wrap that, otherwise you won't able to call this val function, because it is an object, right? So it is an object, iterator object. And how we got this, right? So we got this using this selector, right? And then each method is iterating through each and every checked elements, and those are not HTML elements, those are objects only. So that's the reason we need to put them inside this syntax, and then we can call these methods. Okay, so if you normally put this, like if you console log this, I'll show you that also. So first of all, we'll look into this console log. So I'm checking HTML, like, so the index is actually 0 and the value of it is HTML. Okay, and if I select these many, you can see the index 1, index 2, index 0 and their values. Okay, again 0, 1, 2, 3 and then their values. So if I call this item as it is, right? So you can see it is an object of HTML input element, because it is actually fetched using the selector only, right? jQuery selector. And then if I call the call val on this, then it will not give me any values. So for that I need to wrap this inside this function, and then I need to call the val function on it. Then only it will give me a value. Okay, so this is how. And it doesn't matter, like, it is not such a thing that you should call this on a checkbox list. You can call this any HTML collection, right? Select list, you will have multiple divs also, right? And you'll have other collections also, like arrays and all. So you can call this method on every collection of HTML elements, right? So for that you need to give proper jQuery selector over there. So for example, I can give another example also. So now if I have multiple divs in it, right, with the div 1 with the text like this, then div 2, right, and then div 3, I have these many divs, right? So what I can do, I can change the selector. Okay, so I'll just call divs over here. So do you have div? Yeah, we have div. Okay, so let me add a class selector also, because it will select all these divs. Okay, let me add a class selector to this. So I'm adding a class. What I can do, divs with the class name div, right? So like this I'll call, and you can see the text of it. So if I inspect, right, so if I say get values, it will print me the text out of those divs. Okay, and the index starts with 0 and ends with length -1, right? So this is how you can call each method in various ways, you know but the limitation over here is only thing, right? So you need to have a HTML collection. Okay, so you can call this on a HTML collection only. So this is all about jQuery each method. If you understood something, right, so you can appreciate that, you can subscribe to channel, you can hit bell icon, and you can like and share the video. So if you do not understand, Just let me know in the comment section. I will, and I know I will reply you. I will clear your doubts. And have a good day, guys. Let's meet in next video. Thank you all.